they want to make Edo, Igbos, Ishekiri, Benue, and the rest talk. Now, I go let una watch the video. Southwest APCs them aggrieved members don't come outside now. They cry of marginalisation. Then say Baba na only Lagos boys now they carry along. Now Lagos boys them in they give appointments. Now them they follow and they travel. They carry suitcase. They carry bag for Asu Rock. If you want go Asu Rock, you get to call. Una go here now for this video. Insider. That is you get to be a Lagos boy, as in people there. You don't need to come from Lagos, so because Kano, other tribe, you understand, Ondo, but you get to that is you go down, they affiliated to Lagos politics. You go down, that is they eat there and dine with Baba. My people, they matter too much. They don't they sing songs of lamentation. Baba don't they put Ghana pepper, I been a Cameroon pepper for their eyes. I beg these people, handkerchief no go help them. Now face towel now I need. This is now waiting na so now na the rip so. So waiting na want make other tribe they can't talk. The same Yoruba, una they say that they marginalize una. Say na Lagos boys them. My people, ma let una watch this. Una know they share my video. Now they share my videos them. More share my videos. Oh, like my page and follow my page if you never. My YouTube channel NHTV and go subscribe. Ma let una watch this video. Hey.
Some people ask that, why are you bringing this forward as we speak? Why are you talking about it? Doesn't the president have a right to pick his own man? So why are you making it a Lagos thing?
Now, thank you, Rufai, for that question. You see, in policy making, generally, in policy making, there are stratas. Even when government want to form a policy, the government also consider public opinion. We consider opinion from the civil society, even from the press. And the public opinion also serve as a feedback mechanism to whatever program or policy government is backing on. And now, as APC stakeholder, as an APC stakeholder, we feel this should be neat in the board because I'm a Yoruba man. I'm from Ondo State. And I grew up in Lagos. I know what I'm saying, but I live in Abuja. I work here. I am an employer of labor. I'm an aviation consultant. But beyond that, I'm also a politician. We see the character of our people. We're in Abuja, we see them. We see Lagos politicians, the way they come in and all that. Let me tell you, you can't get anything done in the villa now without calling somebody from Lagos. Even to some of us that are from Southwest. I, as an individual, even with my capacity in the party, when I need something, when I want to access the villa, I must call somebody from Lagos to get access to it. It shouldn't be so. We understand that the president was former governor in Lagos State, and he has his lieutenant, his aide that work for him. In the same vein, you are now Mr. President, spread out to other regions, even beyond Southwest. Because all what we are saying, the evidence are there. The appointments, look at it. They are former this, former that in Lagos. Why not former this, former that in Ondo State, former this, former that in Ekiti? We have capacity. We have men of great capacities all over the Southwest that the president can pick. So what we are saying, the president should look beyond Lagos.
You know, I deliberately asked you, why are you making it about Lagos? Because it's a deliberate trick question. Truth has to be said. All of these people you claim are from Lagos. Not all of them are from Lagos. Mr. Dele Alake, for instance, is not from Lagos. And that's why I deliberately asked you that question. Why are you making it about Lagos? The other people that were picked, not all of them are from Lagos. So why are you making it about Lagos? Because what you are doing is a dog whistle. And that's why you mentioned Lagos in all of this. I have just given you one instance. Mr. Dele Alake is not from Lagos State. There are many other people that have been picked that are not from Lagos State. There are people that are from the north, part of his special advisors there. All right, take for instance, Ms. Musawa, what's her name? Anatu. Yes, Anatu is not from Lagos. There are other people there that are not from Lagos. So why mention this Lagos thing? Because it's a dog whistle. Adisa is not from Lagos. There's somebody from Oyo State there. Adedeji is from Oyo State. So why are you mentioning Lagos?
Can I butt in?
Yes.
Rufai, can I butt in? If you listen to my my preamble, earlier, I made mention that this individual may not be Lagos indigene, but these are people that play their politics in Lagos and have chosen Lagos as their immediate constituency. The Delalake you referred to, yeah, Delalake is not from Lagos, but Delalake plays the politics in Lagos, was a commissioner for information during Ashwaju's admission as governor. Delalake was a commissioner for information. We have the host of them. Go through the list. Go through the list. See, when you have a situation whereby you have like 20 appointments and you can get about 10, 13 that reside in a particular place, that dwell in a particular place, their means of livelihood is from there, that they play their politics in a particular place. So it will be fair for you to make a generalization that they are from Lagos.
But there's also
not until they are Lagos.
Okay, can I come in? But there's also something called the fallacy of hasty generalization here. Anatu Musawa did not play her politics in Lagos. Mr. Adedeji did not play his politics in Lagos. We can also go on other people. I don't have the list here. There are a lot of people there that didn't play their politics in Lagos. So why this dog whistle about Lagos? Answer that. I've given it to you. Anatu Musawa didn't play her politics in Lagos. Mr. Adedeji didn't play her politics in Lagos.
Well, Mr. Adedeji, incidentally,
if I listen,
you want to revise what you said earlier?
I understand. Now, the thing is this. I want you to take a very closer look at the appointment so far. The last tranche of appointment that was made are 28. Let me limit my discussion to the last appointment that was the 8 that were made, the last 20. You are calling Anatu and the rest. See, these are just a drop in the ocean, so to say. These are drop in the ocean, and that is why I was telling you that when you have variables of 20, when you have like 20 variables of 20, and 10 to 13 of that variable are from a particular set, you can make a generalization.
But that's a fallacy of hasty generalization. You're making a fallacy of hasty generalization.
Anyway, can we make progress?
That is not correct.
We need to make progress on this program.
That is not correct. If I may land on that point, sorry, Ruben.
Quickly,
okay,
do so, because we have to manage time. Now, you see, this is quite ironic, because some of the examples, for every example, there can be so many others. Mr. Adedeji ran for Senate once in Ekiti State. Yes. The deputy governor of Ondo State at the moment, Ayedatiwa, was living in Lagos. He went to his home state to become, deputy governor. So you can come with all kinds of examples. But what I find curious here is this. The point about the SGF and the chief of staff. And you are saying that the SGF is superior to the chief of staff to the president. If you could just back that up with a reference, because I'm not aware that it is written anywhere that the office of the SGF is superior to the office of chief of staff. What I know is that the president can delegate an assignment to whoever he chooses. He has such powers. The second thing, somewhere in that your letter of appeal to the president, you were saying when the president was going to the Paris summit, he traveled with people from Lagos, Lagosians, Lagos boys. People, some of them, they don't even have a portfolio. Do you know that, in fact, you will probably be vindicating the people who argue that Lagos should be for Lagosians, the indigenous people, those who call themselves indigenous people of Lagos. They will say, look at it now. These people who have come to Lagos, they are now even quarreling among themselves about entitlements. So the conversation is not about service. It's not about agenda. Your support group is not setting an agenda for President Tinubu. You are fighting over who gets what position, who helps the president to carry bag, maybe when next he's going to the US. No, I mean, don't you think the optics look really bad? Okay.
Let me pick it from there, from your first question about the SGF and the chief of staff. I think the appointment of SGF is enshrined in the Nigerian Constitution. But I cannot say same for the office of the chief of staff. And during Obasanjo administration, there was an administration that didn't even use chief of staff at all. I think Yaradua used principal secretary. The nomenclature of chief of staff, I think it started from President Obasanjo or so. And what we're saying is this. We have an office that is enshrined in the Constitution. I know the president has prerogative to assign and reassign duty or delegate duty to whoever he chooses. But why doing that? The president also have to be very careful in the area of protocol and seniority. In the area of protocol and seniority, you cannot say a vice president is in a committee and you ask the chief of staff to chair that committee because the president has the power to assign and reassign. So we just feel it should be done in the proper perspective. That the AG is supposed to head that office, because by other protocol, the FGS signals the chief of staff to the to the president. Now, to the next question, you see what we are saying is this. I'm from Southwest. We know how we suffered, how we campaigned rigorously for this administration. The kind of campaign we made this time, we didn't do such campaign in 2015, 2019. So for obvious reason, we went out to campaign for Mr. President. Now Nigeria has voted for us, across length and breadth. Fine, we give glory to God in that. Now what we are saying is that all this I'm saying are not my personal opinion, but we are closer to the people. These are what is going on in the public. That the president seems to favor the Lagos politicians. The Lagos politician. Then it's not left for you to distinguish who is Lagos politician, who is not Lagos politician. As I believe the primary definition of Lagos politician are those, even though they are from other states, but they base in Lagos and they play their politics in Lagos. These are friends of Mr. President that were even in his cabinet when he was governor. So we are not trying to cast aspersion, on anybody. We're just telling Mr. President to look to spread out. It's just an advice to Mr. President to spread out. And like I did mention, which I still maintain my point, I did mention the last appointment. Those there are people that have worked with president before, people that are Lagos State, that are politicians, in Lagos. So that's what we are saying. That president should spread out. So it's a humble, it's a humble call, it's a humble advice, without hurting anybody, without casting aspersion, on anyone.
Who the president appoints, however, is his prerogative. As you yourself know. I mean, people from the southeast too might as well come on television and say, oh, he has not appointed enough Igbos. People from the north central will say, they too should be given something. What the federal constitution says, yes, national character inclusion, but to reduce it to Lagos versus Oyo, Lagos versus Ekiti, it looks, other Nigerians will be wondering what is going on within the APC.
That was actually going to be my next question, that I see that your title is coordinator for support groups in the APC, not just in the Southwest. So I want to assume that your reach covers all support groups across the country, right?
The letter says Southwest.
That's correct.
APC.
So are you just the coordinator for the Southwest wing of the support groups?
No. Let me make a clarification there. I'm a man of many feathers. I'm the national coordinator for the conference of all APC support group coordinators. Now, we have Southwest Coalition. And by the virtue of my position at the national, they feel, okay, they can't have, because, that's my zone, that I should also double as the leader of the Southwest. So that's it. So that letter that was written in my capacity as the leader of Southwest APC support group coalition. And if you read that letter, sorry, why?
Yes.
If you read that letter thoroughly, I just want to correct what Dr. Ruben make allusion to. If you read the letter thoroughly, at the end, I said somewhere that the president should look at other parts of the country. He should spread out and look at other parts of the country. So that is it. That
was the point I was going to make, actually, because you have two offices, but your first office primary is national remit, isn't it? And just to, again, take further Dr. Bati's point around the fact that the North can say they gave the president more votes than even the Southwest in terms of him emerging as president. And so if we had different groups like this within the APC agitating, would that not cause more issues for the president? Are there not matters that can be handled within rather than writing open letters? And even though you're saying you're not casting aspersions on the president, it's embarrassing to him. You're criticizing the choice of his appointments. You're criticizing the fact that he's not being a father to all. Does that not go in, against what it is you're saying you're doing? On one hand, praising him that he's doing well, but he is, it's nepotism you're accusing him of.
No, that's not correct. Nobody has accused Mr. President of nepotism. No. You see, office of the president is a highly exalted office. And most of these appointments, people will come with advice, suggestion, nomination, and all that when it comes to appointments. And by so doing, it could be that those that have direct access to him are people from a particular space. And the president may not even have the opportunity to also engage people from the other space because the president is being surrounded by people from a particular space. So, and being a very busy man, what we are saying, the letter is just to advise that, hey, Mr. President, look at other, don't be under any undue pressure to certain people from a space. Spread out, Mr. President. Spread out to other parts of the country. Spread out to other parts of Southwest, and by extension, other parts of the country. So it's a humble advice. And that is an open letter. Does not mean that we cannot reach out to Mr. President and another. We know the bureaucracy in presidency. We know the bureaucracy. The letter could be written and may not even get to Mr. President for obvious reason. It may not get to Mr. President because of the issue we are trying to address. So what do we have to do? We have to rely on this means by writing an open letter. So far, the president has not done anything wrong. But what is seemingly happened to be that can cause a disquiet for a particular quarter, and we see it, and we could not say anything. We keep a kind of move about it. I think we will not be doing Mr. President good, and by extension, the party.
Okay. So don't you think you are making the Southwest look very bad as we speak with this? Because President Tinubu is not a president for the Southwest. He's a president for the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And if you are saying, look at other parts of the Southwest, you are already sectionalizing him as president. So don't you feel this attempt is making the Southwest look very bad? And let me by extension say, don't you think some people will say in some quarters, and you buy a Ronu?
Okay, Rufai, I'm not alone in all this. I'm not alone in all this. I could be the face out there, but I'm not alone in all this. There are hundreds of thousands of people that share this view. And we feel the best thing is to nip this on the board. Let me tell you something. If what we are saying, even though if the team seems balanced across other parts of the country, not even, let me take my discussion beyond Southwest. Let's say this thing seems balanced. Let's say the appointment seems balanced. Do you understand? I don't think the letter would have been necessary. Let's even play beyond Southwest. I don't think letter would have. Why we said Southwest is just because these are Yorubas. These individuals are Yorubas. Where do they could be from other parts of the South, but where do they play their politics? Where do they live? Where do they stay? They stay in a particular state, which is Lagos. And we said, okay, let's look at those that are playing their politics in Akure, in Abeokuta, in Ado-Ekiti, in Ibadan, in Osogbo, in Abeokuta, and the rest. It shouldn't be those that are playing their politics in Lagos alone. So it's a very harmless letter. It's a very harmless letter. And that's what we represent. It's our government. It's our government. So whatever we make people to see the government as government of yesterday that seems to be, tend towards a particular stock. We don't want it here also. We don't want to have, a replica of it.
What do you mean by it's our government?
Let's spread out.
What do you mean by it's our government? Is it the government of the Southwest? Is that what you mean?
No, don't put words in my mouth. It's APC government. That's what I mean.
Well,
it's our government. It's APC government.